Hello everyone, it's Mariana. I have been away for a very long time, I know. I was on vacation and now I'm back. And I would love to make this video because I want to talk about a certain trip I had, one of the trips. It was in a village in Greece. It's called Pylio. And I would love to talk about an experience I had there. I had plenty of experiences in Epilio. I went for a retreat for the first time in my life. I've never been in a retreat before. I was thinking about going to a retreat since, I don't know, it's 2021. But I never decided on that, and I decided that it would be the time now to try it out, and I did, and I loved it. I went to a place called Pylio in Greece. I've been to Pylio before, but I've never been to this specific place. And it's amazing. Okay, Pylio, the whole thing is amazing because it's beautiful. It's a great village. It's very beautiful. It has also lots of greenery and mountain and sea and everything. So I went to Pylio and went for a retreat, more specifically a yoga retreat. And I stayed there for 7 days, and there was a very specific schedule that we had as a group. It was a group of 10 people, both Greek people and people from all over the world, and I met some amazing people there. And it was a beautiful experience. Well, first of all, the very fact that you are in nature, that's enough on its own. And Pylio's nature is beautiful, really awesome. And full of trees and mountains and yeah. But I'd like to be more specific. I would like to talk about two experiences I had that both have to do with the body. Okay, since it was a yoga retreat, every morning, very early in the morning, at 8 o'clock, we had a 2-hour yoga session. Half an hour it was a meditation, and then the rest of the hour was a yoga session. And then we ate breakfast, and then we had plenty of free time to do whatever we wanted. And there was no lunch at all until 7 o'clock in the evening, where we had another yoga session, and then we had dinner. But there was no lunch in between. So, yes, I would like to talk about the body. First of all, let me say that before this those yoga sessions, I had tried 3 times, I think, yoga before, and I liked it. I wasn't practicing normally like some people did there, but I had tried it and I liked it. And but when I had those yoga sessions in the yoga retreat, I got to know more about the very specific philosophy of yoga, because it's not so much like about how, let's say, how much of how can I call it now, a master you become at the exercises. Of course, the more you do them, the more you master them. But this is not so much, it's not about so much about performance as it is about being in more in connection with your body, and you start listening more to your body and how much you can push and how much you can pull and take back, and you start listening more to what your body says, and your breathing along with it, because there are also breathing exercises as you are doing the yoga sessions. So I love this different approach, because you see, I with usually with sports, and I also did classical ballet for years when I was in high school, and then in my 20s. And it was a totally different approach, because with ballet, I had learned that it was more like this perfectionism, and also the discipline. Of course, you have discipline in the yoga sessions, but difference is that in ballet, it's very specific, and you push yourself, you push your body, and very far. You need to be perfectionist. Well, in yoga sessions, it's not like that. It's not about pushing yourself that much. You are the one who decides when to say, okay, I'm stopping here, and I am not going to push harder than what my limits are. So that's exactly what you are doing with the yoga sessions. And I love this whole approach, because it's more based on spirituality, and learn to listen to your body, learn to listen to your breathing, instead of how perfect you are in the technique. That's what I saw in this case. Now, concerning the body, I would love to say two things now. Two great and amazing experiences I had that both have to do with the body. The one is that at some point, after days, I think the fifth day, I think, when after yoga session, I remember that I had this experience where after the yoga session, we went back to the little rooms, that we used to rent, each of us. And I felt, since I had this session, I needed to let out. Many emotions came, and I needed to let them out. So I started crying a lot. I cried and I cried and I cried, and I figured out that this session, even though it had to do with the body, it helped me release a lot of emotions. So I went back and I started crying a lot. And the most amazing thing is that while I cried, I felt like I was letting out a lot of energy that I didn't need anymore, let's say. But at the same time, I also, the void, let's say, that was created by this release of emotions and energy was also filled with new energy that was very invigorating, and it energized me. And that's the most amazing thing. Why? Because you see, usually when we have emotional releases, what happens usually is we started either crying a lot or we're starting laughing a lot. What happens is that after that we feel exhausted. We maybe we feel drained, exhausted. But in this emotional release that I had there, I also felt like even though I let out a lot of energy, I also got a lot of energy back. And that was amazing because thanks to the yoga session, I released a lot of energy that I needed after that. And also because I was in nature, I also got a lot of energy back. So that is amazing because you see, I wasn't in nature, and I saw all this greenery, and I cannot even begin to describe you how much energy I felt that was coming from all those trees around me and all this greenery. And it was very regenerative. It was very energizing. So that was one of the experiences that I had. It was really, I felt like there was energy coming out, like in every cell of my body. It was an incredible experience, which helped me realize in action, basically, what they say that emotional release has to do with the body. The emotions are stored in the body. The first time that I heard of it, I thought that it just meant the emotional body. Like we say, we have the ethereal body, the etheric body, and the mental, and the emotional, like an aura, a layer, But no, it means the physical one. So because it is in the physical and the emotional, and they are connected. So that's why we usually say when we healers, basically, we are interested in chakras. Many times we ask ourselves or somebody else when they have an emotion, where exactly do they feel this emotion in their body to be? They can feel it on their stomach. They can feel it on in the intestines or on their neck. Anyway, through their throat. And that was amazing because, like I said, the difference between this kind of emotional release and the usual emotional release that I've had, like everybody else, before, was that since I was in nature, it wasn't just an exhausting experience, because I also got a lot of this energy that I let out. I got it back then from all this energy from nature. So it was really calming, it was really peaceful, relaxing in that sense. And that's one of the experiences that I've had concerning the body. Of course, also yoga also helped me with on its own, because it's a great exercise. Another one now, and the other experience has to do with again with the body, but with nutrition. You see, like I said, after the first yoga session, we had breakfast, and then we didn't have lunch. We skipped until night, where we had dinner. And funny thing is that I've never been used to that, meaning that what I have learned and what I've always been doing since I was a kid is breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. So I was really curious to see why we didn't have like the in between breakfast and dinner. I was thinking, come on, there must be a reason, because maybe I'm hungry in the in between. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you that I wasn't. I found out that in between breakfast and dinner, I wasn't hungry at all. And not necessarily, we could eat like I don't know, some fruit, maybe a banana, an apple, something, but not a full meal, a full like lunch. And but I found out that I didn't really need it. My organism didn't really need it, which was amazing. And why is that now? We had this breakfast after the yoga session, the morning session, that was so full. It was vegan, okay? And it was so full of anything to do with salads and fruits, also bread, okay? There was also coffee, juices, anything like this. And let me tell you that it was, it gave you so much energy during the day that you didn't need lunch. It was such a rich, it was so, there were so many things that you could eat concerning fruits and vegetables and everything, that you didn't really need lunch after that. And when we had the second yoga session at 7 o'clock in the evening, and then we had dinner. The dinner was almost like breakfast, but also, okay, with sweets and stuff. And again, the whole thing with nutrition and meals, I noticed that it added a lot to my energy in my body. I didn't feel heavy. I didn't feel exhausted at all. I felt that even though I had done a lot of exercise, I, on the other hand, okay, it's normal to feel a bit tired after this, but at the same time, I was in nature, so I got a lot of energy from nature. I got a lot of energy then from all those vegetables and fruits and anything else that was during those meals. And also this water that is from the mountains, and it's crystal clear. water mineral, and okay, the water is amazing. It's crystal clear. It's again, it's full of energy. Everything there, it helps you feel more energetic and healthy, and it adds to your body. It was such a great experience. I felt like, personally, I felt like, you know what, I could stay here forever, seriously. Okay, me personally, I love nature. If I lived in nature, that would be a dream. And but the whole quality of life, eating like this and drinking this kind of water, being with among people who they are really friendly and kind and everything, and that was such an amazing experience. But okay, going back to what I was saying about the nutrition, I started noticing, okay, that has, what I'm going to say now, that also has to do with, that's very, I think, subjective, because it has to do with each person, how they feel about eating more vegetables and being more vegan instead of eating a lot of meat. Me personally, I've always eaten all of it: vegetables, fruits, meat, everything. But I've noticed something. I'm a blood type A kind of person. That plays a role. So I had read that blood type A's are more into vegetables and fruits and fish and all that stuff like that. More than meat, I mean. And blood type B, for example, are more into meat and stuff. So, but I also notice it on my body and what I felt, what needs I have felt all those years that I have when I eat meat, when I eat vegetables, when etc. etc. So I had noticed, for example, that when during the week I eat a lot of meat, I start getting exhausted and I start feeling heavy. But when I eat mostly vegetables, I feel more energized. So what happened with this kind of nutrition there is that for the first time in my life, I got into this mentality of starting experimenting with that. Like, I'm eating something for breakfast, for example, right now, and not right now, but I mean, since then, when I came back to Athens, and I'm starting, and then I am listening to my body. What do I need right now? What do I need to eat? What do I feel like I need to eat right now? And I was so surprised that after breakfast and in between breakfast and dinner, there was no lunch, that it convinced me that this kind of, let's say, program that we have with eating, it's not necessary, because there is the other theory that says that it's greater, more preferable, if you eat whenever you feel the need to, instead of having this very specific schedule of eating lunch and then eating dinner. So I started doing this as an experiment. And for the first time, I started listening more to what my body needs. And since then, it's so great, because I feel like I need to taste this right now, and I need to taste that right now, that has to do with either, I don't know, whatever. It can be a vegetable, it can be a fruit, it can be even meat, but I've never really done it before. Not that much, at least. And It's very interesting because you see that you are starting to really listen to what your body needs. It's like you turn inwards, but instead of turning inwards with doing, like, say, shadow work, listening to your emotions, you do that mostly with what your body needs, not emotionally, but as food. Um, and that's a great experience. Me personally, I highly recommend it. And it also taught me that, I think that we have this mentality mostly that the body is something, our emotions and our thoughts and everything is more alive, let's say, and the body is something that it's material and it's like dead or something, and it's not, because the body is like a separate entity on its own, and it's very much alive. It can tell you so many things about your emotions. It can tell you so many things about what food you need. And also another thing, when you there is a certain kind of meditation technique that you can use where you start focusing on the internal parts of your body. So again, it has to do with the body, and let's say you go and you start focusing on your neck, and then the eyes, and then your stomach, and then there is also a meditation that you can do like that. So I have understood from all this that has to do either with emotional release of emotions and food and meditation and everything, that the body is very wise to show you things like your emotions and your food, what you need yourself, what you yourself, your own organism needs as food. And also when you meditate and you start noticing and observing your internal parts of your body, this is the vehicle to spirituality and to start turning inwards, so that you start realizing that you are mostly spirit. But we think that in order to understand that we are mostly spirit, we don't need our body. And it's not like this. It's not like that at all. Because again, it's going through the body that we do realize that. We start focusing on what's inside our body. It's like Eckhart Tolle said that about the body, that we need our body in having a spiritual enlightenment. So what I really have understood is that when you start noticing your body and what it needs, what it tells you, because it's like it has a voice on its own, and with everything, with food, what you need, with your own thoughts, your own emotions, which are stored in your body. And it's like information that it gives you. And it's not just something that we carry around as if it's something dead and just material. It's not just something that we have to use just to move around and do some stuff. It is, but it's not only that. And it's not just something to display just for looks or whatever. It's much more than that. It's a whole organism. It's a very vital, energetic entity, let's say, on its own. It has life. And yeah, it gives you a lot of information. It's something yours, so everything is connected. Everything is connected, like your body and your emotions and your thoughts and your food and what you need. And all this is one thing. And your mind and your spirit. All those things, they're not like separate. And you start realizing it. The more you focus inward in everything, you see that all these things, they are connected. And the body gives you information about your emotions. It gives you information about your thoughts. It gives you information. It becomes like a vehicle to realize that you're a spirit. It's amazing. I have realized through this retreat that the body is very important, and it's not just something that we carry until we die. It's far more than that. It's a whole how can I put this, like, it's a whole, like, it's like a computer itself. It's like full of information and data that you can discover on your own if you start listening to it in all areas. That's it. That's what I wanted to share. Bye.